we've chosen a venue, we've signed the contract, checked that off our list, and now, after going through their preferred vendor list and all the extra add-ons we have to do, we're over budget. What do we do? Hi, my name is Michelle Martinez, and I am a wedding planner. I have been planning weddings for over 20 years. I am also the creator and host of the Big Wedding Planning Podcast, which is a show for anyone involved in planning a wedding. And there's over 280 episodes, so you should definitely check it out and subscribe. Okay, so this question came from, doggy in the back. This question came from a bride that called me inquiring about my services, but actually I realized soon that she was just really stressed out and needed somebody to talk to. So she didn't hire me, but I felt for her because I've gotten this question before, and I've spoken to couples about this before. Choosing a venue is one of the first things you do in the wedding planning process. But just remember, it comes second after figuring out your priorities and your budget. That's the first thing you have to do. And I think because this couple did not figure out their priorities and their budget first, they messed up. They chose a venue they love. I mean, they fell in love with the place, but it doesn't fit within their budget because there's a preferred vendor list. And this is a thing about a lot of venues. This is how they take care of their space, right? Because they have a list of vendors that have been approved, that have worked there before, that know the rules, and they can hold those wedding professionals accountable and really count on them to care for the venue, to make sure nothing's attached to the walls, to know the load in, load out process, to know the space really well, to set it up quickly. I mean, there's all sorts of advantages to working with a venue that has a preferred vendor list because there's liability issues. But some of those preferred vendors on that list, usually a lot of them, I mean, they try to get a range of pricing. But what happens is if you don't have your budget and your priorities figured out, you don't really understand or realize how much you have available to spend on your reception. Reception accounts for 50% of your budget. And when I say reception, I mean the venue rental, the food and beverage, and your very basic rentals that you need in order to have this event, right? So your venue might say, hey, we've got table and chairs. We'll throw them in. They're included. Oh my God, that's amazing. It's a cost savings. We don't have to spend money on tables and chairs, and I love these chairs. Well, that is a little bit of a cost savings. However, when you hire a caterer and you serve food to your guests, you need dishes. You need silverware. You need wine glasses, water glasses, carafes on the tables, tablecloths on the tables, napkins. And these basic rental items really add up. Not to mention that a lot of really cool venues, beautiful venues, don't have a full kitchen. And what does that mean to your caterer? That means they have to rent and bring in equipment like convection ovens, burners, sometimes in some instances, water, clean ice, like pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of ice, not only for your drinks, but to keep the wine and the beer cool and the sodas. So there's a lot more that you're probably not aware of because, you don't work in the events industry, or you haven't thrown a big, huge, fat party before, or a wedding. So it's really tricky. So choosing a venue is a very personal part of the wedding planning process because sometimes the venue speaks a lot to who you are as a couple, or to a theme that you want to stick with for the wedding. Or, it helps you determine the date of your wedding. I always recommend that people are flexible with the exact specific dates. Like you know the season you want to get married in, but keep the date fluid, because the venue you end up loving and that ends up being perfect for you might not be available on that specific date, right? So it goes priorities, budget, and then venue and date go hand in hand. And then you send out those save the dates. So, moral of the story here, peeps, is do not sign a contract with a venue unless you have really researched all of the costs involved and you have that budget spreadsheet that you can refer back to know what range of money you have to stick within. If the venue rental is $3,000 and you're like, oh, cool, that's not bad. I thought we could spend up to $5,000. So, oh my gosh, that's great. But they have a preferred vendor list and you can only choose from those vendors. Then you need to do the research on those vendors. You need to call and say, give me at least a ballpark figure of me hiring you, Mr. Caterer, for my 150-person wedding. I don't need an exact menu right now. I just need to know a range of what it's going to cost me. And don't just give me a food price. Give me a price that includes the necessary rentals, the staffing, the food, and if they do bar service, beverage service, that as well. And then you're going to get a way, way better idea of what that venue is actually going to cost to have your wedding there. So this part of things is really, really important. The priorities, the budget, the venue, the date. You can't really hire any other vendors or send out invitations until you know these things, right? And so I want to recommend to you that you check out the Big Wedding Planning Masterclass. It is a digital course that I've created with my friend who's also a wedding planner, Christy, and it is everything you need to plan a wedding. But we also have broken it down into mini courses, right? So maybe you don't want A to Z, but you really want to get all of the tools and information in helping you choose a venue. Well, we have a mini course for that. And it includes video instruction, which is easily digestible. It includes a questionnaire and actually gives you information prior to even going to physically see a venue. Because I feel like that's a number one mistake couples make as well. They're like, let's just go see it. Let's go. It'll be so fun. And it is fun. But then you fall in love with a venue and you're kind of screwed because it's not within your budget. So the Big Wedding Planning Masterclass has this mini course for venues, or you can buy the whole bundle. It's up to you. If I were you, I'd buy the whole bundle, but this is your decision. It's your decision. It's not mine. We're giving you video footage, answering all your questions, giving you easy instructions, giving you a questionnaire to literally follow as you're speaking to venues, a site visit checklist. So when you actually make that step to going to visit, what you want to be looking for and what you want to be asking on site. And then a venue comparison sheet so that you can compare the venues side by side once you've narrowed them down. So you can do this the right way, the way a wedding planner would do it, the way that I would guide you to do it. Actually, I will be guiding you because it's me on the screen, just like you're seeing me now, but in more of the wedding planner mode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to this channel. And if you have a wedding planning question, please leave it in the comments below and I might be able to create a video and answer your question. Thank you and happy planning.